welcome everyone. My name is Chuguma Ivan Agafe, and this is, of course, Family Matters. See, on Family Matters, we talk about the nitty-gritties of circumstances affecting the home, affecting the family, and in turn, affecting the society. Of course, we have a topic to discuss for this episode, and I have my guest already. Wonderful guest. You would love to meet them. But we'll go for a short break, and then when we come back, I'll unveil the topic, unveil my guest, and I know you don't want to miss either. I'll be back. Okay, welcome back. Like I said earlier, it's Family Matters, your very wonderful and loving program. And I said that we have a topic to discuss on this episode, a very controversial topic. And I have also a set of controversial guests. One tends to agree and another disagrees. Today, we'll be talking about sex education. But before I continue, very close to my right, I have Mr. Akosile Nicholas Walter, who is a politician, a civil servant, and a father of four.
Thank you so much,
Welcome.
Mr. Ivan.
Welcome.
Good to have you.
And then by my far right, I have quite a very dashing, beautiful young lady who is also a student and from a family of three. She happens to be the second. Please make welcome. Aide Temitope Faith.
Thank you very much.
You're welcome.
Thank you.
Please make yourself very comfortable.
Yeah,
As we, okay, no. Back to the business of the day. Sex education. You see, when people make mention of sex education, just by the hearing of it, a lot of persons get either embarrassed, shy, or offended. Now, before we dig deep into sex education, I would like, from your perspectives, I want to know what you really understand by sex education. What do you define sex education as? Mr. Walter.
Wow. First of all, let me really appreciate this opportunity to be with you on set right now. And the topic is quite striking, sex education. But before we look into that aspect, let us look at what education is all about. What's it all about? Education is an art of making you know what you do not know.
Okay.
Yes, so now introducing or bringing in sex into it. Sex education is the ability of orienting people, especially younger ones, from their childhood, between the ages of their childhood to adulthood, as adolescent stage. The ability to educate them, teach them the tenets, things, rules and regulations guiding sex.
Okay.
Yes, because we have different avenues where they could actually get to know more about sex.
This time around, you actually making reference that there should be a particular channel.
Yes, there are
for the
channels. Yes,
Okay.
for education.
Do you tend to agree with Nicholas? You have a different opinion about what you think sex education is about?
Okay, yeah, he has said it, but I'll literally say that sex education helps people gain knowledge about how to make healthy decisions about their sexual life and all of that. So.
Okay, I hope you're following up, viewers. Mr. Walter, now this is the reason why we are bringing up this topic. There was literally a post online from a young lady who went through a difficult situation. Okay. She got pregnant at a very young age. She got abandoned by both families and friends, and even the person who was supposed to be responsible for the pregnancy. Now, she went for an abortion, and she almost lost her life. Now, there is a riot, a rampage on the internet, some blaming her, some blaming the so-called young man responsible for the pregnancy, some blaming the parents for not properly educating her about sex. Now, do you tend to agree Of course, sex education is more or less like the orientation about sexual intercourse,
yeah.
sexual reproduction, sexual anatomy, and everything that has to do with your sexual behavior. Yeah. Now this is the problem. Most parents, I'm being very specific, most parents do not tend to agree with sex education. You're a parent.
Yeah. Yes, from my own perspective, I want to be play here. I want to be blunt here. I am a father of 4, and to a very large extent, I do not support sex education, because while I was growing up, even before I got married to my wife and we brought 4 kids, 4 children, we never had the opportunity to get that education you're talking about. Nobody oriented us, nobody educated us about sex.
So you just happen to grow into knowing about sex?
Yes, I'm telling you. What I don't even get to know, nobody taught me. I just
don't you consider that a mistake in the part of your parents not to have taught you about it?
To an extent, I wouldn't blame them that much, because I feel they weren't taught in the first place. Otherwise, they would have extended it to their children.
I think I'm getting a reaction from Faith. She suddenly doesn't her looks. She suddenly doesn't believe in what you're saying.
She might have her own opinion. I am telling you what I feel is good.
Faith.
I don't support sex education.
Oh, excuse me, Mr. Walter. I would say that simply because you are not aware, or your parents did actually teach you or tell you about sex education, doesn't mean that the younger or this generation should not be taught about sex education.
Okay.
You know, I would say that, excuse me, please. You know, because something, or because most people are doing things the wrong way, doesn't make that thing right. Are you getting me?
How about orientation? What you are made to believe. You now operating in that perspective without your conscience pricking you. That's what I'm telling you.
I believe the conversation is getting quite more interesting, but I still do not get your point, Mr. Nicholas.
My point here is that my parents never educated me on sex,
and you are banking on
as
that.
Such, I grew up with that mentality. The parental care I give to my children, I think, is enough for them to advise themselves on how to go about their sexual
Okay,
life.
and are you saying that because your parents did not educate you or teach you, tell you some things about this sex education, and you feel that the same should be applied to your children, do you think it will work for them that way?
Well,
as in this current generation now.
I think what Phil is trying to ask, let me rephrase. I think what Phil is trying to ask is, did you never ever make any mistake as it relates to sex when you were growing up? Never.
Yes, to an extent.
No, Mr. Nicholas, it is either a yes or a no. Did you never make any mistake as it relates to sex when you were growing up?
Sure.
No, so are you saying
mistakes,
that if you were mistakes? That's the problem.
Mistakes are bound to happen.
No, are you saying now? Are you trying to make me understand? Are you saying that you believed that you made that mistake because you were supposed to make it, because it was bound to happen? Or you should be saying either that if you were taught, rather, you wouldn't have made such a mistake. I think that's what.
Yes, exactly.
We will continue.
Exactly.
We will continue. All right, after this break. Thank you. And if you are just joining us, you've actually missed out on a whole lot. This place is on fire as I speak right now. It's getting hotter, it's getting more interesting, and welcome back to Family Matters. Now, sex education is the topic. Obviously, yourself, Mr. Walter, and Faith do not agree. Now, I want to know the case scenario. You must have your reasons, and of course, your reasons will be the disadvantages of sex education. Now, why do you think these kids should grow up and get this experience their own? Why do not you support the fact that these kids needs to be taught about sex education?
From a very large extent, not teaching the kids is not only restricted to, or teaching the kids rather, is not only restricted to parents.
Okay.
We have religious leaders out there, they have teachers in school. And from the look of things, from everything I spelled that I looked into, you understand, when I went through it all, I discovered that there was no rule guiding it. The only thing that governed it is total abstinence when it comes to religious setting. Then when it comes to school aspect of it, the teachers, what they are being taught in school, the teachers, they don't even practicalize it. They end up molesting the children they claim to be teaching.
Hold on, Mr. Walter. Hold on, Mr. Now that is a whole lot of accusation.
That's exactly what is happening.
Okay, two things you've made very clear now. You've made reference.
Pastors will not tell you to use condom. They will end up telling you abstain from premarital sex. That's what they say. That's what they keep saying.
So are you indirectly saying that sex education shouldn't be a religious thing?
Religiously, if you want to tackle sex education, tackle it to the core. But my own submission here is that their submission and teacher submission is contradicting. So, who do we follow here? That's why I said I am on a neutral ground that sex education is not in my curriculum.
Okay, you feel one should not teach about sex education. Faith, are you getting this? You feel one should not teach about sex education because you feel that there is no universal dossier curriculum for it. You feel it is being taught differently as one tends to believe in it. The church says abstain. The teacher says.
Okay, please. So, I think I'll have to come in here.
Please do.
You know, socialization, they say, starts from the family. Okay. So a child is supposed to be taught by his or her parents. So I would say that this sex education of a thing should start from the home. The parents need to teach the child. The child needs to know the changes in their body and the causes of those changes and how to live a healthy life.
What will now be the function, the duty of the teacher in school?
Of course, the teacher has a point, it has a role to play, but also the parent has the paramount
to explore her skills.
Okay, Faith.
Her sexual skills, yes.
Well,
don't have premarital sex. Don't venture into sex. That's what the teacher taught. But at the end of the day, the child just wants to know the reason why the teacher.
If only the parents had taught that child, he would know.
No, so you are indirectly saying, what Mr. Walter is seeking for is a balance.
Simple as that.
He wants to make it very clear that when the church says this, the school should say the same thing, the parents should say the same thing.
I'm okay with that.
Else, it shouldn't be taught at all.
At all.
Oh, of course.
Now, what are you saying in that regard, Faith? Now, because the truth is, Nicholas has a very salient point. These teachers in school tend to want to teach about sex education, but use it as a tool for brainwash on these little girls. Makes them believe that they can have sex, makes them believe that they won't be caught, teach them all the rudiments of how to escape pregnancy, and if by chance they get pregnant, tell them the way they could abort these pregnancies.
He is talking
I would
from.
love to hear from you, Faith.
Okay.
I would love to hear from you, but let's take a short break. Thank you. We'll be back. Okay, welcome back. It's still Family Matters, and you've been following, and you could tell that it's been really, really, really interesting and hot. Yes. So, Mr. Walter, while we wrap up, tell us one advice. Why don't you support? Why don't you support sex education?
let me begin by saying that I don't have any advice to give in that regard. Like I told you, nobody advised me while I was growing up, and what advice do I have to offer to the upcoming? I don't have any advice. The only thing I have to say is I brought my children up morally. They are sound.
Ethically,
yes, ethically they are sound. I think their teacher must have
how old is your first child, male or female?
Male. I have 4 sons.
How old is your first son?
The eldest is in the military as I speak to you. He's 19.
Could you say now if your first son is sexually active or not?
Yes, I naturally.
You assume?
Naturally, yes. He's sexually active.
You're not sure.
I am not there with him right now as I speak to
and
you.
You think it's not a thing of bother not to know if your son is active or not?
We've not seen for a couple of times now.
I've heard from you, Mr. Walter. I've heard from
I have not finished.
Okay.
I have taught them moral standards.
Okay.
Now they've gone to school. I sent them through school, and they've been taught some things regarding sex education. I think by the time they balance what they were taught in school to what I have taught them, they should be able to carry.
We don't have much time,
yes.
Mr. Walter. I want to say thank you so much for piece of advice.
Thank you so much.
Miss Faith, how very calm Miss Faith. What's your advice about sex education?
Well, I'll say that sex education should be encouraged in homes, in schools, in the community, and anywhere at all. Any point in time where you have the opportunity to lecture children about sex education, it should be done, because sex education helps to prevent the child from some kind of things like these unwanted pregnancy. That's for the female child, unwanted pregnancy for the male. It helps them to know, brings them up morally, not to tend to turn to rapists or so. And you also teach them that those kind of things are not correct, they are not right. So sex education should be encouraged.
Okay, viewers, you've heard from the two of my guests. I think Faith's point is quite clear. Sex education encouraged because it tends to avoid unwanted pregnancy, which will reduce the rate of abortion, and reducing the rate of abortion, it also reduces the rate of death by abortion. And then also it helps the male folks to understand that when a girl says no, it is no. You don't just react to how you feel regarding your libido and the rest, and then you pounce on any lady. You see, it puts one in self-control. You understand when to retrieve and when to advance. Sex education is a moral tool. You could teach it in the right direction. Everyone needs it. Both kids, both teens, both youths, both adults. Everyone needs sex education. My name is Ivan Agafe. Family Matters. Thank you for watching. Join me again, same time, same station next week. God bless you.